I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. I am also known as the commander of the flow state, and I'm here to help serve this galaxy to be in the zone, to perform in the zone, and to go from a fear-based society to a flow-based society. Alright? So today I'm talking about aesthetic. Okay, why is aesthetic so important? Okay, the number one reason for this hat is it is an aesthetic. Okay, it matches a certain aspect, a certain frequency of what's going on. Okay, so how can you create your own aesthetic? My aesthetic has evolved over the years, and I've learned many things in terms of how to fine-tune this aesthetic. Okay, how to be able to utilize it instead of have it work against you, or in a sense trying to make you out to be somebody that you're not, but rather amplify the personality that you already have in a way where you exude that element of the true you and let it shine towards the world. Okay, so one of the things in terms of aesthetic that's important is the type of music that is associated with that aesthetic. Now, it doesn't even have to be a musical genre. I mean, ideas from a stream of water, you can get ideas from rustling leaves, you can get ideas from nature and silence as well. Okay, this is important to know. But every single aesthetic, I believe personally, is connected to certain images, certain sounds, and certain physical sensations. Okay? So let's say the aesthetic that you're trying to create is vaporwave. It has a very, very specific images associated if you ever look up vaporwave aesthetic, right? You see old Greek art and architecture and statues, you see things like Arizona iced tea, you see things like, you know, internet related things that relate to the synthwave community, as well as, you know, vaporwave by itself is a musical genre as well. So there you go, that's an aesthetic. Okay, a perfect example. What are some other aesthetics? What are some other aesthetics? Well, if you go on many YouTubers' pages, they have a very special aesthetic that you know that, oh yeah, that font is totally relevant to their brand. That way that they do something is totally who they are as a character. When you start seeing this, when you start seeing the patterns of the personality, that gains credibility and trust. And so from there, that's when we start to shape up the pattern dynamic. Okay? Aesthetic is generally something that is not forced. Okay? Aesthetic is something that emerges. Let's look up the definition of aesthetic. I'm actually curious to find out. Concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty, a set of particular underlying the work of a particular artist or artistic movement. There you go, artistic movement. There is a momentum associated with it. This is the stuff that really is the kicker here. Okay, so this is gonna shock some of you. Okay, aesthetic, in a sense relating to the perception by the senses. Okay, and it comes from the word perceive. Perceive into perceptible things, into aesthetikos, which is related to the perception by the senses in the late 18th century. Okay, but the first origin word is aesthete, which is perceive, to perceive something. So there you go. How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to be perceived? Really good question, right? It's an important question too, because that is the guiding principle. You know when you're writing an essay and you have a motif or a theme of the essay? This is what is the overarching theme that you keep coming back to, on a running pattern, a motif that keeps coming up again and again. Man versus wild. That is a theme. Okay? So you could be writing, and every now and again you bring back that reminder of that theme. Similarly in life, you can carry a theme with you, or a genre in the way that I say in terms of my book TPM. Your character has certain dislikes and likes. It has certain ways that it does things and doesn't do things. But you want to think in terms of the objective and the outcomes that the character has. What are they motivated by? That's one of the most important questions you can ask yourself in terms of your aesthetic. What are you motivated by? Like, what are you inspired by? What moves you towards a particular direction? Okay? I like seeing people smile. Well, great. That's a little key insight into your aesthetic. I'm motivated by economic progress. Well, great. That is going to add to your aesthetic in some way, okay? And also, you want to have a keen perceptive and artistic eye, okay? What do I mean by this? You want to wear the goggles of your craft to see the world like that. So your entire world morphs into your flow state craft, okay? So if you're a painter, you see the world as a painting. If you're an architect, you see the buildings around you like just as architecture, and you see the beauty in it, right? If you are a person who even, is a lawyer, right? You see the world as laws, just a group of laws, and you understand the ethics and the history and all that in terms of every situation, not just law, but going into philosophy. This is why philosophy or philosophia means the love of wisdom. Now you can try this technique out. If you go to Wikipedia and you click any word and you keep going, keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking, it always comes down to the philosophy page. It always comes back to the philosophy page. Now, my personal conspiracy idea of this is because philosophy is the start, is the root, is the foundation where everything can grow from. Okay, so what are the philosophies that you're looking into that's going to be helpful to you? Alright? Like, for instance, I am very into Stoicism. I'm very into Taoism. Okay? I'm very into learning from different cultures, including my own culture, India, which has a vast array of a lot of incredible things, such as yoga, the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. If you haven't looked into that, it's fascinating stuff. It really is. And if you can learn from your own culture, your own heritage, you can add that into your aesthetic very easily. Alright? So, take what you can, this is the Bruce Lee quote, right? Absorb what you can, what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is uniquely your own. And that's the perfect model for creating your own aesthetic. That is actually the perfect framework for you to show up and carry yourself in a very unique way. Like, if I were to go out like this in public, I would get stares from people, right? Well, guess what? An aesthetic grips people and it creates attention. We live in an attention economy. Okay, understand that. We live in an attention economy, which means that the currency are our eyeballs and our eardrums. So if you want to get paid, you got to pay attention to what? To what you're doing. To what you're supposed to do. Okay? I know that someone requested a video on mission. Okay? So what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to extend it till next week, Sunday, because we're actually hosting an entire event cracking the code of mission with 2 other coaches in our Genius Days. So thank you, brother, for that amazing question. We're going to definitely dive deep, but thank you for your patience because it is going to be extended to next week. This Sunday, we have Genius Days, the event coming up, okay? If you're interested, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram, which is at Flowzone Academy, Flozone Academy, and I will get you on the guest list to join as me and 2 other coaches, Ivan and Ryan, will help you. So Ryan is a aligned data consultant, and Ivan is a personal reality coach who looks at nutrition and body work as well. And I personally, I'm a flow state coach, so I help you with your brain and your beingness, right? And your sense of presence and expression. Also, I have a very big surprise for people. $7, 7 weeks, 7 chakras. It's an emotional clearing course called Unstuck Yourself. If you are interested in that as well, shoot me a message. We're going to go all in. This is a pilot program. That's why the cheap price for now, because I'm just testing it out. It's a clearing technique. And so, as I get much more testimonials and people actually telling me that this thing is working, if you want to be a part of that prototype or that beta pilot study, to see how it works for you, feel free to shoot me a message as well, okay? Having said that, I hope this video helped you get more perspective about how to create an aesthetic. You want to draw from different influences. You know, I like to draw from like different cartoons that I've seen, you know, different movies that I've watched, different things that I've read, okay? Every single thing that you consume adds to your avatar as well as your aesthetic in some way, okay? So it's important to note that. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Be the sovereign sage. Boom.